Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. So I decided to go Beastmen, and I decided to mix it up. I always basically bring the same Beastmen army, so I decided to go a bit off the wall here. So you can see I have Malagor in the front. I've actually brought some Bestigors, which I don't often do. I've got a couple of Gore Bulls, which I never bring, so I thought I'd double up. I do have some Centaurs with great weapons, but I only went with the two, no Poison Warhounds escorts, and there's only two of them, not four. So, but I do have some Razor Gores, which is a lot of fun, so these guys, good armor piercing, they'll be a laugh, and also a Razor Gore Chariot. I've also got my Ungor Raiders in the back, I've got my usual, crappy Ungor herd, just to, just bring more numbers, basically. As well as some Ungor Spearman herd as well, so, all these guys, actually, wait, do these guys have shields? Yes, these guys do have shields, of course they do. So, I've got some shields in the front line, which is nice. Obviously, elite infantry, I've got some very heavy hitters in case anything scary lands. Against High Elves, so chances are they'll have something scary that will need landing. And yeah, Malagor, it's just got some good spells. I didn't bother bringing the Cygor, because I still find that it's just so boring. It's just not aggressive enough for me. So, if you see, he's got the Mantle of Gorok, so I can give someone a huge buff at the cost of their armor. Not really a problem if none of my infantry really have a lot of armor. It's going to be really useful. It'll just give them crazy good melee attack and attack stats, which is nice. Also, I've got Traitorkin, so I can just lump that down on top of a load of people, and that's going to hurt them. Same with Devolve, so both similar spells. One will lower speed, one will lower leadership, but I'm just going to be spamming them as much as I can. They're quite expensive, so, everything's a bit expensive. But still, I do have Arcane Conduit, so I will be able to get some reserves back. And of course, anytime I do use any spells, it will put up the vigor of my army as well as their charge bonus, so that'll be fun. And what's this one again? Oh yeah, and he has Unholy Power as well. Sorry, I don't often bring Malagor. And yeah, minus leadership is nice. Primal Fury that everyone has. Immune Psychology is always good. So and the usual encouragement and stuff. He's just, yeah, I like Malagor. He's good fun. He's a bit squishy though. A couple of dragons will eat him up lovely, but yeah. Hopefully, the Gore Bulls will be good enough to sort of bully that sort of stuff, even though their mass seems to be set, lower than an Ungor, and they will be sent flying about, 600 feet backwards if a dragon so much as, looks at them funny. So anyway, so we're going to charge up, charge into their formation straight up. As you can see, he's gone very small and very elite, so the Swordmaster Hoeth will be able to just absolutely decimate any of my front line. They'll chew up Bestigors and everything lovely. Also, he's got some Loathe and Seaguard. If you're going to bring archers against Beastmen, Loathe and Seaguard are probably your only chance. Or maybe Illyrian Reavers, actually. They can just run away from things quite a bit. But still, Loathe and Seaguard, they got the anti-large, so, they can help fight off cavalry a little bit as well. So long as they're braced, anyway. Otherwise, they're going to take a lot of damage very quickly. So, yeah, not a bad idea. Obviously, there's a lot of very low armor targets for them to shoot at, which is nice. He's also got some Phoenix Guard. That's going to really hurt my bigger units. And he's also got a Frostheart Phoenix, which I think is very good. Very tanky unit there. And he has a Princess on a Star Dragon. No, it's not a Star Dragon, is it? It's a Moon Dragon. Is it? Wait, hang on. It's not going to tell me, is it? Actually, it probably will, because it'll say whatever Dragon Breath. Yeah, it's a Moon Dragon. Yeah, you never seen Moon Dragons, it always confuses me. Anyway, so we're going to speed things up. So, as you can see, I'm just charging straight in, right? I've actually, I've changed my Razor Gore. I was going to flank them, but no, I'm going to charge straight into these Swordmasters. That's my plan. So, same with the, the Gore Bulls, they're both going to charge into these guys, do some good damage. Devolve hits them all, so that's their leadership down. It's going to do some good damage to them. I mean, look at the damage, it's doing to some of these units. It's pretty good. So, yeah, Swordmaster's taking a ton of damage, actually, from that initial charge. So, I'm getting some of my infantry around to bog down all their archers. I've got my archers shooting into their Loathe and Seaguard to do some damage. Breath attack here, it sort of whiffs, actually. I think it killed a pig. I think that's it. But, he's got the Frostheart Phoenix in here. He's going to do some good damage to the Razor Gore herd that are in here, but they're pretty disposable. Bestigors have been pretty much butchered by the Loathe and Seaguard that are in here, which I can't actually see anymore. Did they flee already? I can't even see their... That's a Lawmaster. Okay, I can't even see their flag. So that's interesting. Did they shatter already? Possibly. I mean, it is a Beastman charge. You don't really want to get in the way of that. So, as you can see, though, Phoenix Guard fighting very elite units. He's got the Frostheart Phoenix in here. I charged both of my Gore Bulls into it. Malagor's helping there, fighting a bit. But it's not looking great. Luckily, though, pretty much his whole line is broken. He's basically just got his elites and his Phoenix Guard. So he does have a Lawmaster Hoeth in here. So Lawmaster can do alright, good anti-infantry, but, the chariots are going to run him down pretty well. And the Princess has landed, but I'm trying to get a nice surround on his Phoenix Guard, because right now I've only really got these Bestigors fighting him that are, preferable for me. My archers, they actually kept chasing after some of these shattered units, so I've had to turn them around and start shooting. Razor Gores and Centaurs are all coming back in to help mop stuff up. He's got a very damaged Frostheart Phoenix, and he's got the Princess, and the Phoenix Guard, just overwhelming numbers here. I'm just whittling them down. You know, once they get past that 50% health, their melee defense is going to go very low. So that's pretty tough. So Princess, you know, very low armor actually, the Princess, and not great melee defense considering they're a Lord. So, you know, only 50 armor, it's not great, honestly. If you can catch them out with things like, you know, Centaurs, you're going to get a lot of damage in. So, it's pretty scary. And also, Frostheart Phoenix, yeah, it's fighting the Ungors, but I've bogged him down with some Centaurs, and they are actually slightly more armored. That 80 armor, my armor piercing is going to help a lot. And you see, everything kind of breaks. You know, this Lawmaster I just had surrounded, he's not going to go anywhere. So there we go. Abrupt, to say the least. Definitely abrupt. But yeah, so it turns out I don't need to bring my usual, you know, army. But this is a terrible matchup for High Elves. It is not a good one at all. It's very rough. You really don't want to be a High Elf against Beastmen. Even when, you know, they're bringing experimental stuff, because frankly, everything that Beastmen bring are going to have use against the High Elves, you know, just the fact that you can just bring the numbers, and all these assorted units that can pin stuff down, rear charge things, you know, you got your cheap archers just to apply some pressure, which is actually, these guys are super useful against things like dragons. Princesses just don't have enough armor, so even though these guys have got almost no armor piercing, they get a lot of damage in. You know, it'll really add up, especially if you can bog them down with things like Centaurs and stuff, and they have to stand and fight. Yeah, those archers are going to get a lot of work done for very cheap. So there's a lot of stuff that's very scary. You see, some of the Lawmasters, some of the Swordmasters rather, did very well. Some not so well. These guys got wiped out by the charge pretty quickly. Yeah, the Frostheart Phoenix was caught on its own. I mean, that's basically the long and short of it. Everything gets caught out on its own. You know, if you're a High Elf player against Beastmen, because you're just going to get overwhelmed. You just don't have the numbers, and you know, even spearmen, like, yeah, they're pretty sturdy in terms of melee defense, but if they're being assaulted on all fronts, you know, they're at least going to be pinned down, and you're going to be able to use your more effective units, you know, your cavalry and your razor gores, your chariots. They're just going to be able to bully the back line so much that it's really going to hurt. It's going to be incredibly difficult. So I really don't like this matchup for High Elves, but you know, I thought I'd try something different. As you can see, I'm called Willem Dafoe at the moment, who we all know is the original Beastman. So yeah, so it's a definitely fun one. But guys, we are actually going to do another replay, just so it's not, you know, me just whitewashing some, you know, guy who had a terrible matchup and didn't go wide. You got to go wide, I think, to have a chance against the Beastmen. You know, if they don't go wide and they just go with a lot of Bestigors, then you can just sort of focus them down with archers and you know, the odd monster you bring. But otherwise, you've got to go wide, so you can't get surrounded like that, you know? You've got to be able to have enough spearmen to sort of take the charges from the big monsters and whittle down things like the Centaurs, you know, get some archers in the back, focusing these guys down, because they have very little armor. You know, it's rough, though. It is very rough. You know, the Lawmaster I think is a good choice. Good anti-infantry is going to help, you know, in that front line, as well as the heals. You know, Melkoths is great for dealing with things like the Centaurs, and yeah, they can fight enemy lords fairly well. You know, they're pretty formidable in combat. So I think Lawmaster is a good choice, but I think just going all in with the elite stuff, it's rough, because you just don't get the value out of any of them because they just get hit from so many angles. So you know, that melee defense, I think goes down by 75%. Your melee defense if you're attacked in the rear. So you know, even with that huge melee defense, if you're surrounded, cheap units are going to be able to hit you. And once they start doing that, you're going to crumble pretty quickly. So, very scary. So, we're actually going to jump into another match now, I guess. So, as you can see, same army as before. So, yeah, with me trying to bring something that I don't often bring, I've just brought the same thing twice in a row. If you can ignore the irony in that, then that's great. That would definitely help me out. So, brought the same army, but against Dark Elves this time around. So, you can see the Dark Elves, again, they haven't gone very wide. They've gone very elite again. So, Dread Spears in the front line. Great choice. I think Dread Spears are, you know, pretty formidable. They got the best melee defense of anything, so they're going to pin stuff down for the longest. And that's really what you want to do. You want to, you know, ride out the charge bonuses of the Beastmen infantry, and then you can just kill them pretty easily, because they're pretty feeble, honestly. All of them pretty weak. Bestigors, obviously, not so much. But in the back, he's basically just gone full on trying to avoid being hit by all the, like, scary cavalry. So he's gone 3 units of Blackguard Magarond. He's also knows that he's got air superiority, so he's gone with Black Dragon and Malekith on Seraphon. So, yeah, a lot of elite stuff. He's also got some Witch Elves. Witch Elves are brilliant in this matchup. If you can catch anything with them, the Black Guy can then kill them, honestly. The Witch Elves are superb in this matchup. Because, yeah, just rampaging anything. It just stops them being able to, you know, just run in and out, and it's great. It's really useful. And I think you only need the one if you're going to go elite like this, because, frankly, they're going to be within arm's reach of anything you throw at them. So, obviously, if you're attacking from more than one angle, then, yeah, you're going to want to do that as a Beastman. But also, you see over here, he does have some Dark Riders with shields, so these guys are going to be good for like mopping up Ungor Raiders and things. I mean, they're going to get caught out pretty quickly, I think, by enemy cavalry. But it's a good ambush, and these guys will do very well against cheaper infantry, getting rear charges in if his front line is holding him in place. So it's not a bad shout. So yeah, so same matchup as before. Not matchup, same build as before for me. So I'm not going to go over it again. You heard about that, 10 minutes ago. So I'm just going to charge in. I couldn't see his army straight away, truth be told. This hill is a bit of a nuisance. So I'm charging right in. I've got my Centigores going down one side, Razor Gores on the other, and I'm just going to try and charge straight in. So, as you would. So as you can see, my Razor Gore chariots, they're holding steady for now. I'll charge them in a second. In fact, everything is. I couldn't just do the attack order, the grouped attack order, because they would have just been held up on the dragons, which is very annoying. But I am charging in now. Hopefully I'll actually capitalise with some other things here in a second. Come on, guys. So anyway, these guys moving around, you see he's actually sending Blackguard to try and help me here, like to help himself out here. So there's 2 units of Blackguard just sat kind of doing nothing while this front line is going to get pretty bullied. You see just against the Bestigors, oof, very, very nice hit on the Bestigors there with that breath attack. But still, these guys are taking a huge amount of damage already. I've got these Ungor Herd pinning down these Blackguard, and now my Centigores are right in the back. So I'm deciding what to do with them. Over here I sent one Gorbull back to try and bully Malekith, and got some Spearmen coming to back him up. So that's not bad. Not bad for me. So here, Bestigors are wavering. I think they will... Nope, all this stuff is broken first, which is crazy. So I actually use my cavalry to charge into the back of the Blackguard, knowing that, their melee defense can be lower if I charge in the rear. So if I can do some damage to them now, hit them with a devolve, lower their leadership, I can break them very quickly. So that Blackguard, very ineffective, which was great for me. Also over here, you can see I've got some Bestigors who've managed to deal with these Dread Spears, and actually against the Blackguard, my Ungor Herd held out for... Oh no, there's more Dread Spears. That'll be why. So anyway, where's the other Blackguard then? There's one unit there, and one unit is finally coming here to mop up. So as you can see, I have actually lost my Bestigor Herd. Malekith did escape the Gorbull, which is, a shame. But I'm getting some good damage with my archers on this other dragon. My chariot, basically just charging in, trying to bog this stuff down a bit, but obviously the chariots don't want to be fighting Blackguard or a dragon, but if I can pin him in place a bit, that's great. So I'm charging with everything. Again, that Blackguard being surrounded like this, they're not going to last very long. They're going to get hit by a lot of very heavy-hitting things, the Gorbulls and stuff. Of course they shouldn't be fighting Blackguard, because Blackguard have got such great anti-large and they're so sturdy, but their armor-piercing damage is going to whittle them down very quickly. So hitting them, from all angles like that, you can shut them down before they can start capitalizing. A lot of them will be knocked down as well. So over here, I actually use a Traitorkin on these guys to sap their health a lot and lower their speed. So I'm charging in with a load of, just cheap units, because frankly, I'm kind of winning on this side, So it means over here, now I can react to these Dark Riders that did spring their ambush. You see, one of my Ungor Raiders did get mopped up. Over here, there's still a load of Blackguard sat doing nothing, which is great. He was chasing my Spearman, which is nice. So here, I do actually charge him, seeing that he started moving. So they're not braced, they're not going to get that charge defense. And I can charge in here. Not a great fight for my Razor Gore Herd, but frankly, they've done enough already. I'm happy just to get the armor piercing into the Blackguard. Because you can see, that is actually doing some pretty serious work. So, yeah, fine, it'll do. So here you can see it looks like he's going to use, a Blade Wind? That's the one. I was going to say Wind of Blades? No, Blade Wind. But again, I haven't given him many good targets. I've been throwing men all over the place, but a lot of it is very cheap. Now there's a very healthy unit of Bestigors that apparently had wandered off to fight something, but other than that, not a lot going on. So here, Blackguard are coming back in, but again, I've just got a load of cheap stuff I can bog them down with, so I'm not too fussed about this stuff, So over here you can see Blackguard and Agarond, now that they're actually, just in a pitched battle, no charge bonus or anything, these guys are rampaged. The Blackguard are getting a lot of work done, which is very scary for me. So not great for me, but Bestigors are coming in and they'll be able to deal with any of this stuff now that it's all haggard. So that's great for me. So lovely Chillwind actually hit me here. It did some good damage, I think, to something. Although apparently not. I'm sure it hit something. Oh well. Over here you can see beautiful breath attack, does a lot of damage to my Ungor Herd and my Bestigors, so that's very scary. These Blackguard are able to best all of this stuff with the help of Malekith. So Malekith just has so much utility, so many great abilities at his disposal. Some are winds of magic, but dark magic is great, or, he's obviously got all the free stuff as well, the breath attacks, the Gaze of Malice. It's very formidable. So here, with everything hitting him, the Gorbulls, just with a huge armor piercing, is able to tip the balance straight away. And off they run. So, very scary. Malagor, he's just chilling. So over here I'm getting some archers to start firing at Malekith, but frankly army losses here. He's lost too much, and you know, my Lord and my Gorbals are both on full health. I have a full health unit of Bestigors. I've got so much. I'm surprised it's a Pyrrhic victory. I feel like the only lives I threw away were ones that didn't really matter. I guess I lost one unit of Bestigors, but I find it surprising that this is Pyrrhic, honestly. I mean, I guess I lost half my army. Huh. Well, slightly under half. This doesn't seem Pyrrhic to me. Anyway, you know what the game's like. So again, yeah, I think you got to go wide with Dark Elves. I think just Elves have to go wide. I think everyone has to go wide against Beastmen. Frankly, they're just too good. You know, they each have a singular purpose, and they just have great synergy. You know, with the rest of the units, it's just charge, hit everything at the same time, and you'll overcome things that are way better than you because you've surrounded them. And you know, you've got a lot of cheap armor piercing and stuff with the Razor Gores and the Centaurs. They're very mobile, so they get exactly where they need to be. They can also pin down lords and dragons really easily. They've just got a lot of utility, and the front line, you know, this stuff will fight for a long time against a lot of, you know, elven units, because the cheaper units are better for holding than killing. So, you know, you kind of get the reverse happening. It means that cheap enemy units will be able to hold them in place for a long time, because, you know, just no one's really dying in those matchups, you know, no one's really getting a lot of killing done. So, you know, so that way you just have these cheap units, they can just pin stuff like Dread Spears in place, if they survive long, you know. I obviously had Bestigors charging the front line, they got decimated. But it's really rough, it is really rough fighting the Beastmen, with a lot of factions, just because they just got so much utility out of all their stuff. They're so cheap. They're all very singular in their purpose, but they're all very good at what they do, which makes it very difficult when you just bring a massive, you know, load of variety and a big gaggle of units. You get a lot of work done. It's very scary. So anyway, guys, so yeah, slightly different build from me. You know, for the Beastmen for once. So hope you guys enjoyed that. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.